What's up? It's the Arthur Moats Experience with Deke. I'm Arthur Moats, and that's my main man, Deke.
What's up, man?
Deke the Vibe God?
Come on, dude.
Deke the Vibe?
Nah,
look, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to hear Deke talking about he's low-key anymore. I don't want to hear no more of this, oh, nobody knows me anymore. Once again, Miami Dolphins game last night, Monday Night Football. We're out there, terrible tailgate. People walking up, yo, Deke, yo, love you, Deke. Can I get a pic? Then I said, okay, maybe that's just because the terrible tailgate. You know, we promoted a lot. Well, you know, it's out there. People just see the pictures. But no, I have to leave the tailgate early to go do some like official Steelers alumni meet and greet stuff. We're in the meet and greet tent for the Steelers alumni. I'm talking official guys in there. These are like the big time donors and sponsors for the team. They're in there with suits, high class. You know, it's a nice uppity scene. My man walks over. He's talking to me. He's like, yo, Moats, man, love the podcast, man. Love Deke, da-da-da-da-da. And Deke's standing there just trying to be chill. The guy's just talking. Then he gets quiet. He looks on his phone for a little bit. He looks at me and says, yo, you're Deke. Oh, man. Yo, this is crazy. Proceeds to talk to Deke for like an hour, bro. I was like, wow, Deke is a movement, bro. Then I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right, maybe that was it. No. So then me and Deke get separated. I had to go do another part in the Champions Cup. This is like the real high class in here, right? My guy comes, he's talking, yo, man. Loving what you're doing in the media. I'm glad you stayed here. Love the podcast. Also, man, where's Deke, man? I love Deke, man. Deke be speaking to my heart. I say, yo, Deke is official, man. He's a vibe. I don't want to hear no more. If there was ever any doubt, yesterday proved it. And what did you say happened to you yesterday as well? You're sitting in the stands. Deke is at the game yesterday, sitting in the Champions Club. And what did you say happened?
So it didn't happen yesterday. Technically, it happened yesterday, but
from a technical standpoint,
I was told about it this morning. I posted that Zach Banner picture on IG, also on my Facebook page, and someone was hitting me up in the comments on the Facebook, like, "Hey, did you go to the game yesterday?" I said, "Yeah, man, I was there. Awesome atmosphere." And they said, "Were you happen to be at the Champions Club?" I said, "Yeah, I was chilling there." And then he said, "Oh man, I thought I saw you. I was gonna come up to you." But I didn't, and you know I've met Moats like 20 something times. I'm trying to meet Deke, and I was like, man, I really appreciate that. I really do. Like, if what you're saying is true, then listen. Much thanks to anyone that likes what I'm doing.
Deke is a vibe. Deke, you are a whole mood, man. I'm telling you, Deke, they see you out here. I said it how many months ago? Y'all looked at me like I was crazy. The people that were there was like, nah, man, you funny. I'm like, nah, man, y'all tripping, man. Deke got the juice, man. Deke the one. And now everybody's seeing it. They're like, yo, I like Deke. Where's Deke? Deke, I get a picture of Deke. We've seen that happen.
It's happened.
We've seen that happen. Yeah. Deke is like, I'm a celebrity, you know. Just Deke. He over here like, oh, should I put the glasses on today? Nah, I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna kill him with this one. Take the glasses off, comb the hair out a little bit, no hat. Deke is a fat Deke, bro. I'm telling you, man.
I'm not big on my glasses.
The people love you, man. They're like, oh, is that Deke with the glasses today? Or we got no glasses, Deke? Or we gonna get the Red Sox hat, Deke? Is it Crocs Deke or is it Jordan's Deke?
Crocs today.
Is it the collar shirt or are we in the hoodie? See, that's what I'm saying, man. I like it, man.
Much thanks to anyone that likes me or likes what I'm doing or appreciates what I'm doing.
Hey, but not everybody likes overrated. You. Not everybody likes you. Deke is officially. This is the next thing. Hold on, wait a minute. So this the next thing to why I say Deke is a real life vibe. Why Deke is big time now. We all heard the phrase, "If you ain't got haters, you ain't popping." That's what we've heard that before, right? If you ain't got no haters, you ain't popping. So this past week, we had an incident that transpired on our social media channels. We post a little picture, I believe it was, on the IG, and this guy proceeds to @Deke. He sends me this like super long post about why the podcast would be so much better if it wasn't for Deke. Deke is trash. He's the most terrible person ever. Like, I can't listen to the podcast because of Deke, all these things. And then I just slowly watch the comments that transpired afterwards.
I agreed with them.
You did. And I laughed it off like, yo, Deke's one of a kind. Like, all right, just keep it. You know what I mean? Like, we ain't gonna get you, but we ain't tripping. The comments after that, though. Oh, everybody came to Deke's rescue. I said, yeah, Deke is a whole mood out here. I'm like, these people over here up in arms over Deke. Like, you talk to Deke, you talk to all of us. You got a problem with Deke, you got a problem with all of us. I'm surprised. I'm glad he ain't put his address up there, man. They would have came and found him. I was nervous for the man. I was like, yo, look at this, man. I said, okay, you got everybody out here got Deke back, man. They love Deke. Tell you, bro. You the man.
Thank you
the
for
man,
the support.
bro.
What I guess what did they say in the Bible, right?
Hey, man.
If you're not hot or cold, you're lukewarm. They spit you out, right?
He can't be lukewarm. I don't know if you hot or if you cold. You probably more of the hot take side. You know what I mean? I'm more like cold pizza, I guess.
Well, I told you my takes have been really cold though.
Yeah,
they come out hot, but they're simmering as they come out right now.
Hey, shout out to your Golden State Warriors beating your Pelicans.
Well, it's LeBron first if you have a ranking. See, here's the thing. Football and hoops are different.
Okay.
Football, right. Steelers. Well,
okay.
You had the Bills too. You were on the Bills.
Yes. But I rank them Steelers first, then Bills.
They're fine being a second team for you. Right. But if you're born in Pittsburgh or if you're a Steeler fan, there's no second team. You can't even be talking about, I was rooting for this team or that team. Like, they're my second. You can't do that.
Okay.
But in hoops is more players, right?
Yeah.
So it's LeBron first.
Uh-huh.
And after that, it's just more of, I guess, who you're feeling that season or kind of based off your prediction.
And you were feeling the Pelicans because you said they were going to be the 8th, and you were definitely feeling the Warriors. You said they were going to be, third seed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Third in the league.
Team, third best team in the league.
I didn't have Pelicans in the top 10 teams.
Right. But you said they're going to make the playoffs. 8th seed. Well, you did say it on the podcast. It's already documented. We're not going back and forth on that. All right, we're done with that. That's already out there.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we won't.
But shout out to your Warriors.
People that have been following us know there's a little more to this. But
just shout out to your Warriors. Shout out to your Warriors beating your Pelicans. I don't know if that's good or bad. I saw the Warriors versus OKC.
CP3.
That got a little gory. I was like, whoa. All right. Dub Nation. And then we know what the Pelicans look like. And you know what I'm saying? You was like hot on me, trying to like backtrack because no Zion. Then I'm like, I don't know, man.
Well, it was funny when you texted me about that Warriors game because it was a football Sunday. That wasn't even on my radar.
Bro.
I don't know why it was on yours.
No, so this what happened, right? So I told you I was out of town this weekend.
Yeah.
I was at JMU for the homecoming doing the color commentary. And when I get back on Sunday, we had been listening to the games on the radio while we were driving back. And a lot of the 1 o'clock games weren't good games. Let's be real about it. And the Bills won at the time. As soon as I had got back home, the Bills, got to the point where they were pretty much going to lose.
Yeah, so now I'm like, man.
Right. So I was like, all right, it's a 4 o'clock game. I think that was the Patriots one. No, Patriots had the Sunday
Patriots
night.
Browns. No, they were 4
o'clock. Okay. So at the time, I'm like, all right, I'm going to turn to the Patriots game. But my TV was set. It was just on the NBA League Pass. So when I turned it on, I'm like, oh, dang, let me just see, it's the Warriors. I'm like, let me just see what the score is. And I looked and I was like, whoa, wait, are they down 40? And that's why I'm like, hold on, man, I gotta hit you up. And it was just like perfect timing. And then after that, I proceeded to turn to the Patriots game, and that was getting kind of bad too.
Man, but it's the same thing I keep railing about. The Browns didn't even play them bad. They played them good.
Yeah.
Fumbles. I think it was three possessions.
It was 2 fumbles on 3 plays. I
think it was a pick too. Well, he shuffle passed.
The shuffle pass one, yeah.
And then Chubb fumbled twice.
Chubb fumbled back to back.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the thing. I was like, whoa. And that's, for me, when I clicked back from the Warriors game to the Patriots, and I'm looking like, this is 17 zip? I'm like, it's one of them nights.
So frustrating, man. So frustrating because they just don't beat themselves.
They don't.
Like, the Browns literally went in there and just gave them 17. They continue to find
ways to create turnovers. The splash is crazy. And we can all agree that the Patriots offense isn't even playing good yet.
No, this is not a good version of the Patriots team right now. Like, if you would have told me 8-0, or I don't know how to frame this, but I mean, you're not expecting them to be 8-0 strictly based off how they're playing and how the Patriots teams have been in the past.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, their defense has been making plays, but the Browns were able to move it on them a little bit.
If you look at how many yards on the ground the Browns had, they were running the ball. Like you said, though, they just couldn't capitalize on the opportunity. Because you're sitting here at the time, I'm watching again, I'm like, okay, the Browns are doing enough where they could potentially like make this interesting. And then they just find ways to just mess up.
Because that goes into play what we've been talking about a little bit. Are the Patriots playing really bad teams?
Right.
And the Browns have a semi-decent offense.
Right.
And for them to be moving the ball, but them to turn it over like that just switches the narrative, and no one's going to remember the yards they were able to get.
Even I think it was Chubb's second fumble, the one on the long run, he broke it. He was about to score.
Yeah.
And my man,
it was in the 5-yard line. Or something.
Was it 31? Is Justin Jones? No, I forgot his last name. Jeez. But he's like the one who runs him down, beats Odell to the area, and ultimately forces the fumble, which is crazy. But that was a 30, 40-yard run. But that doesn't get talked about because he's like, oh, forced fumble, it's all good.
Yeah.
So, like, they don't look invincible. That's the crazy thing. It's like they look really good at times defensively, but then it's like, oh, no, you can have success on this team, but you have to play the perfect game. That's always been the narrative with them. It's just you can't beat yourself, in every team that has come against them has found ways to turn it over.
There's ghosts up there now. Hey, I don't know what's going on.
That thing, it don't matter where they at. It all look the same. It'd be interesting to see how they play versus Baltimore, though. Baltimore historically is one of those teams that always play their game versus them. They never look like the moment is too big for them. Like I told you here in Pittsburgh.
Always.
Right, in Pittsburgh, I told you, like, it's been times where it's kind of like you getting your own head about this game. You make it bigger than what it has to be. Whereas Baltimore, I don't know why, but they never look at it that way.
Suggs and Lewis
they just go out there just like, I don't care who you are. Like, I would never forget Bernard Pollard putting to sleep Stephen Ridley in New England. I said, oh my God. Yeah. I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
That's Baltimore. Whenever they play them, they just do not care.
No, so. Yeah, it is weird. And because I remember, not to get too off track, but I remember, I think back-to-back years they played them in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Played them tight. The one that they lost, they should have won.
Yeah.
That was, I forget what happened. It was either a fluky field goal or someone dropped a pass.
Yeah.
I can't remember. But that was like two back.
Oh, was that the one? That was the one where Lee Evans dropped it, wasn't it?
It might have been.
Yes, because that was my second year in the league. Because me and Lee were teammates in Buffalo my rookie year, and when he went to Baltimore, we're like, oh, he got a chance to go to the Super Bowl, and he's the one who dropped the touchdown pass, and it was crazy because literally he was one of the most sure-handed receivers I'd ever seen, bro. Yeah, I remember him. He dropped it in the end zone. Yeah. That would have won it for him. They would have won. Yeah, absolutely.
But no, your point's valid. For some reason, they have been able to go up there and play them tight.
They do not care. Yeah, they're not scared of them, bro. Like, I feel like so many teams and coaches, not just players, coaches, psych themselves out when it's time to play the Patriots. I don't know why. At first, I thought it was just a Buffalo thing, but I've seen it everywhere. And when I talk to guys on other teams, they say the same thing happens. I don't know why, bro. But for some reason, Baltimore never looks at it that way. Baltimore's like, I don't care. It is what it is. Yeah, it's wild, man.
Yeah, it's got to be something about the pressure of losing. Like, people will get on you, and you're afraid of that. And Baltimore probably doesn't care. I don't know. Even though you shouldn't even care, because it's like, if they beat you, well, they beat everybody. Yeah. So it really wouldn't matter, right? Right.
It's crazy. Yeah. Interesting, man. But anywho, we'll dive into this game because I know that's what the people want to hear, right?
Absolutely.
It's Steeler Victory Tuesday.
It feels good.
Feels real good, man. Awesome. We needed that, man. God, we needed that, man. So Steelers won last night. If y'all don't realize, or we're sleeping. They won 27-14. Did not cover the spread. Shout out to Vegas.
Yeah. We were talking about Vegas.
That. 14 is a lot in the NFL, baby.
Close. It was close.
It's still a loss, though.
It is, yeah.
Still lost. Vegas wins. Always. So, Steelers beat the Dolphins 27-14 Monday Night Football. And a lot transpired. First off, shout out to the fact that Coach Tomlin and the Steelers in prime time, their record continues to just become even more phenomenal. It's I think he's like 16-3 or 16-2 or something like that.
Yep.
In these primetime games. It's ridiculous. Shout out to the colorless jerseys, undefeated.
Yep.
My favorite jersey. My favorite alternate jersey, yes. It's an alternate. I don't consider that a throwback because people are asking,
it's
like,
not.
would you
I heard someone
like
talking about that yesterday.
And I'm like, the Bumblebee is a throwback. Like, Bumblebee is my favorite throwback.
Yeah.
But that's the color is an alternate jersey. You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's a tough one because those block letter or the block number ones, Those are classic. They nostalgia.
They look
90s.
just like the regular jerseys,
right.
just minus the numbers.
The only two then that we've had.
You have the gold helmet ones with the
and they're basically the Keller Rush jersey, but just white pants.
Correct.
And then the Bumblebee, right?
Yeah.
And then they did the Keller Rush as the alternate after the Bumblebees.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, between those two, I'm definitely with the Bumblebees.
But see, it's funny. So it's like I love. And we're getting a little off topic here, but with the uniforms, I love the Bumblebee jersey. But my favorite like throwback uni was when I was in Buffalo. We had white. We were able to have the multiple helmets.
Mm-hmm.
So we went to the white helmet with the old school like Buffalo logo up there. Like
I know what you're talking about.
Man.
All white.
Yeah.
All white.
Loved it. The jerseys were like...
You never had the red helmets, huh?
I did, yeah.
You did?
Oh, that was my first year.
Was it your rookie year? And the navy blue jerseys.
Yeah, I loved like the navies. Yeah.
It's weird because probably whenever you got those new jerseys with the white helmets, you were thinking, oh, these are badass. Yeah. And then years go by and you look back
to the red. The red was fire, bro.
It's a rotating thing. It's weird.
The red, bro. Even when I have displayed, I'm like, yo, I want the red. Put the red up. You know what I mean? Like, red just looks good.
It does.
But now back to topic here.
Let's get back to football.
Every once in a while we run off this rabbit hole. But a lot transpired last night, man. We saw Mason come back, first game from the concussion and everything. Had some highs, had some lows. It was a little different. Got the job done. How do you feel per se about his performance, man?
Mason?
Yeah. If you had to give it a grade, what you giving it?
Well, yesterday...
You was going through it, man.
I was talking about this. I said B initially. Rewatched the tape today.
All right.
B minus or C plus. Because there was a lot that could have happened and it could have been a lot worse in terms of picks and poor throws. At the end of the day, he did what he had to do to get the win, and he made some really good throws. True. And actually, just in general, how he was throwing the ball and how he looked, I don't know if there's something that can be said for this. How he looked throwing the ball. Yeah. There were times he was holding it, but when he made the decision, it looked like he was just going after it. Right? And so yes, B minus or C plus, because obviously he had 250 yards, 2 touchdowns, a little bit of help there with the Deontay pass before halftime, but that's probably my grade. I don't know about you.
So for me, I'm gonna give him a C plus, and here's why. Initially, I wanted to say C, but I'm like, the fact he came back for the concussion, won the game, is why I still have to give him the C plus. But the reason why I won't go higher than that is a lot of factors. Now, granted, his numbers on paper, 20 of 36, 251 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. It's like, that looks good. But let's be real. It should have been 2 picks. Granted, they were like, his feet didn't get down. Cool. But we still saw what happened. In terms of potential for other, negativity, it was there. He was very late on some of his reads early on, passes behind, guys not looking on the mark. Now, he did make some good passes. Some of the jump ball stuff, the Juju, here's why I'm a little on the fence in terms of who I want to give credit to.
Well, the Juju pick, or the Juju touchdown should have been a pick.
Right, and that's my thing. I'm like, Juju, I feel like that was more a bright spot for Juju going up and making a combat catch versus it being, that was such a great throw and so great touch.
Because the Dolphins receiver had it in his hands.
Yes. And that's my thing, man. So that's why I'm just like, And then I also have to be real about it, right? Granted, it's always less about who you're going against, right? You just want to see them produce, but we have to be real. 2 of their top 3 corners were out in the second half, and that's ultimately when he started to heat up. In the first half, he was doing nothing. When Xavier Howard, the highest paid corner in the NFL, was out there, none of that was happening.
Wait, he got hurt?
Yeah.
I didn't even know
Yes,
this.
he got hurt in the beginning of the third quarter. And then I go back in, and after that is when you start seeing the jump ball catch. They start going at Ryan Lewis, former Pitt player. Yeah, 24. They were going at him every time because they knew, that's the duck. That's the weak spot. So every pass you saw from then on was at 24. Whether it was Juju, James Washington, Deontay Johnson, they just kept targeting him. And it's fine because that's what you do. If you see a weak link, you go after it. Yeah. But for me, knowing the competition that was out there, I can't get too hype on that because I was like, I saw the first half. You saw the first half. Xavier Howard had a pick.
Dude, even
it looked different.
Even the second half.
Yes, at the beginning of the second half, it looked different.
Until almost the fourth quarter.
Right. And that's why for me, I'm like, I looked at some of that stuff like when we talk about garbage time stats, it was at a point because TJ Watt, you saw it yesterday.
Yeah.
He's a beast, man, flat out dominant. I'm like, bro, them 2 sacks happened when? At what point of the game? Like, but they don't say that. They just, when we talk about this negotiation time, hey man, I had 2 sacks on Monday Night Football, 2 strip sacks too. Like, that's it.
Exactly.
And for me, I'm just like, well, we know we saw when it happened, but that's a part of that. That's what we was joking about.
Right.
But when I looked at Mason's numbers, I'm like, a lot of that, the biggest thing that skewed the numbers were obviously the 45-yard touchdown pass to Deontay Johnson. Because I say, when you look at it, when you wake up this morning, if you don't watch the game, you're going to see 45-yard touchdown. You're like, oh, he bombed. He was airing it out. It was a 3-yard slant.
Yeah. 0
coverage with a blown assignment on defense. My man caught it for 3 yards and just took off. Which we're going to get on that too, because that was probably one of the absolute most idiotic calls I've seen from a defensive coach. We're going to get on that though.
Okay.
But yeah, so for me, that's why I say C+, because I'm like, at least he did execute. He did make the throws, but I can't get too high on it because I know the competition he was going against. And Ryan Lewis, nothing against him, but he's not Xavier Howard. And let's be real, if Ryan Lewis is on the Steelers, does he make this team as a corner?
No.
You're not taking him over Artie Burns. You're not taking him over Cam Sutton, Mike Hilton, Joe Hayden, or Steven Nelson.
And then we just drafted Justin Lamb.
Absolutely. So that's 6 corners over him. That's why, for me, I'm just like, it's hard for me to I
said 6th round. I'm sorry. I meant 3rd.
Yeah, 3rd. Excuse me. He's a 6th corner, though. He's like the 6th guy out there.
Right.
Yeah.
So what do you think of, because this is something that Steeler Nation has been complaining about a lot. Mm-hmm. He did let it loose yesterday.
He did, yeah. And let's be real. In the first half, when he was letting it loose, when you saw that first pick and that second should be interception, everybody was like, yo, he's not the one. What are you doing? And
I was about to text you, start calling up Cam.
Well, and I told everybody, I said, look, a lot of guys talk about having confidence, a lot of guys talk about wanting to air it out, but it's different in the NFL. And I think we all saw that early on while they were healthy on the back end.
Yeah.
It got different in the second half, and that ultimately led to the feeling being, oh, yeah, Mason got this. But it's like, dude, the best corner who was out there early on, who already had the interception, all that changed once he got hurt. When they were down 2 of their top 3 corners on an already depleted defense, that's when it started to look good. But when they were out there, they were getting after this. It was about 14 zip.
Yeah.
Like, it was about to get bad.
Yeah.
People were like, hey, I was looking at Fort Pitt. I said, oh, man, they about to start jumping off that bridge, baby. It's about to go. They had the Clemente. It's about to go down.
What I'm thinking, or what I'm hoping at least, is that it's just a little bit of rust for not playing.
Well, my question is,
coming off the concussion.
My question is this. I associate rust with guys that we've seen play at a high level before. How do we know if this is rust or if this is just him? We don't know. We don't know either way.
That's what I'm hoping.
Right. So for me, that's why I'm like, how can I say it's rust if I've never seen him do anything else yet?
Right.
Like, we don't know what he is. We're projecting what he could be, what we hope he could be, or what we hope he is, but we realistically don't know if he's a good quarterback, a bad quarterback, an average quarterback. This situation, I mean, he's still in like Jimmy Garoppolo phase right now. When he played the 5 games in New England, it was like, oh man, Jimmy's great. Now we're seeing a bigger sample size. Like, is he great? Is he average? Is he bad?
He's good enough for the Niners to do something.
Yeah,
at least.
I mean, undefeated, man, doing their thing. But those are all the things that he's trying to figure out, that management's trying to figure out, and that us as fans are trying to figure out as well.
Here's the thing I think I can say for me, I don't know about for you, but also for Steeler Nation. It was good to at least see him slinging it out and trying to go deep.
Yes.
And taking those shots, because here's a quote.
All right.
This probably sums it up pretty well. It's from, have you ever seen the movie with Take Me Home Tonight?
Yeah.
With Topher Grace. Have you seen it?
I have. I don't remember it all the way, but
okay. But his dad.
I've seen a lot of movies. I love movies.
His dad. So remember, Topher Grace is like this kid coming out of college, doesn't know what he wants to do in his life. He's talking with his dad at some point in the movie. He goes, "This is Matt is Topher Grace's character. Matt, just take a shot at something, don't think about it too much. Just take the shot. Matt Franklin goes, I don't even know where to aim. The dad goes, anywhere, everywhere. Just take the wild shots. Hell at something just to hear the gun go off.
Hey, it's like that, man.
It was so yesterday at least. It was kind of good to see the gun go off with Mason.
True. Now, see, you go with Take Me Home. For me, I'm more of a Kobe Bryant. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
There you go. Yeah.
So shoot, ain't no point in holding it back. I mean, we're gonna critique you anyways, right? We're gonna criticize you anyways. You might as well go down swinging. And like you said, for me, it's good to see him at least make the throws. Now, the reason I get more in depth on it is just because I understand what is upcoming.
Oh, exactly.
In terms of the corners, in terms of NFL caliber, starting caliber corners, that wasn't there last night in the second half.
No.
So as much as I want to get high on it, it's no different than when you see. I don't even want to do that because then it's going to hurt an argument I got in previousness, and we'll leave that alone. But we've seen in other sports when the star or the really good player is going against like the backup because of injuries. Like last year when the Raptors were playing the Warriors and they were down to just Steph Curry and Draymond, everybody else was hurt. And it's like, oh, all these guys look so great now. And it's like, well, look who they're playing against. All right. So that's kind of how I felt last night.
True.
And especially in the second half. Because in the first half, let's be real. Nobody, I don't care who you are, all this, oh, I'm glad he was throwing it. Nobody said that when it was the potential, he threw 2 picks and they were down 14-0. The whole Twitter universe, the whole Steeler Nation, because I was checking. It was, get him out of here, bring in Duck. Period.
Yep. My cousin,
Yeah.
I want to say shout out to Steve because he listens to us every month.
Shout out Steve.
Yeah, so he texted me, said, you think it's time for Duck? It was at that point. So
yeah, everybody. So that's why I'm like, yeah, hindsight 2020, the game's over. We saw in the second half at the end of the game what it looked like, and it's like, oh yeah, I was glad he aired it out. But no, everybody was like, yo, why are you throwing it? Run the ball. Give it to James. Yeah.
What you're hoping then is, though, because like you said, at this point, I said Rust. Mm-hmm. We don't really know what he is, but so at that rate with this game at this point in his career, this is just the learning experience then, right?
So I look at it like you learn, but this is confidence because for him at this level, it doesn't matter. Like it's for us to critique it and for us to gauge how high or low we should get. But for him, that's just strictly confidence because he's finally made plays at the NFL level. Think about this. It's not like college where he's been doing this for 4 years. He has a long, extensive history of being productive. How many productive games have we seen from Mason? How many touchdown passes have we seen from Mason?
He actually has like a decent stat, like a raw stat.
We're not talking raw stat. We're saying when it comes to starting caliber quarterbacks, impactful plays, how many has he had? Not a lot. He's still young.
Bengals game, Ravens game.
Yeah. So think about this, right? We're talking about what, 6 touchdowns right now? We're talking 6 touchdowns, right?
Is that what it is? I think it's more. I think it's like 8 or 9.
Let's see, what? 2 yesterday.
2 in Seattle.
2 in Seattle.
2 in San Fran.
Yeah. Okay. So what?
1 Ravens, couple in Cincy. Yeah, he's got like 8 or 9, I think.
No. How many did he have versus Cincy?
2.
He didn't throw any versus the Ravens.
Are you?
Duck came in.
He threw 1. He had the one to Juju.
So he's looking at what? We say 8.
Yeah.
So we're talking about like, is that a lot of productivity?
No, and you could say maybe 2 or 3 of those were.
Yeah. So we're saying like in terms of how many productive, impactful plays has he had in his career? Not a lot. He's 6 games now that he started? It's not a lot. He's young. So for him, man, this is just confidence, man. Like seeing you complete a pass, seeing you throw a touchdown. You saw how hype he was off the Deontay Johnson touchdown pass, right? Like it doesn't matter when we look into the details of it. Just that feeling for him is huge. Right. And that's the things that I'm like, all right, that we could build on that. That can work.
Everyone's gonna start somewhere.
Hey, no question. And I want to see how he looks as the thing progresses, especially next week. With that matchup versus the Colts.
Yeah, and we talked about it in preseason. Whenever he was out there, he looked good. Like he looked like a quarterback. Like he looked the part, and I think he has this whole time in the regular season, and especially yesterday, starting to throw the ball deep. So that's just kind of what you're hoping. That confidence, the experience, all of that can kind of go together with
because you could first half people talk about how he looked nervous, not setting his feet, storm behind. So that's what I'm saying. You can't be saying it both ways now.
What do you mean?
You just like the whole time he's been out there, he looks good. He looks kind of like he belongs. It's like the first half he did not. Let's be real. The first half it looked bad. The first half we all agreed.
No.
It was quack. It was duck. Quack, 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 quack. Yeah, the duck call's ready.
No. So I'm saying even with that, I thought even like his misses were like it still looked like he looked like a quarterback out there. Like he could.
Hey man, whatever you
he looked the part. That's what I'm saying.
Whatever you say, man. I'm with you, Deke.
I know. It was bad. I know it wasn't.
I'm just like I'm following you.
He missed some of the throws. Like you're right. He wasn't in the pocket completely, but
I'm following you, bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
You do a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. You got that look in your eye that you don't.
I'm messing with you, man. Like I get what you say. He wasn't throwing them in the dirt. They weren't like complete, like terrible misses. They were.
It's just like he's off.
Young though. Man.
He was off. That's probably the best way to put it.
He's young.
You're messing with me, man.
But as we talk about Mason, I just look at it like this, right? I guess my lasting impression is he didn't kill him, and he did do some positive things. But in terms of was he the reason why the offense was successful, I personally don't think he was the main guy. I think James Conner, Juju, and Deontay take more priority in terms of the performance versus if I'm ranking like Mason. Like there's times where like when Ben threw 500 yards, it was like, no, Ben was out there like bombing those guys.
Yeah.
That's not how I felt yesterday, even with the 2 touchdowns and all that stuff. It was more so like, yo, Deontay Johnson looked really good. Juju was taking full advantage of a mismatch. Like he was going up and getting it.
Yep.
That's kind of how I took that.
Yeah.
And I think
100%.
That's why like when I rank these players like off of how the game went yesterday, Mason probably has the lowest grade out of all of them. You know what I mean? Like that's just how I felt walking out of there.
No, definitely. I'm with you though. I guess the thing is everything that we've talked about, but also building chemistry with those guys.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
So that's something to be hopeful about too.
Absolutely.
I know they balled out, but then if there's some type of connection that can be made just off those little things.
Absolutely,
then,
man.
Yeah, I'm feeling hopeful, but I think we're both a little cautious.
Oh, now you're joining the cautious train? I've been cautious. I told y'all that when it first happened. Yeah. I've seen you ride this wave of, I believe in Mason, he's the future, to, all right, I believe in Duck, he's the future. And now it's like you're back to Mason. So listen, I'm steady Eddie over here, man. Steady Eddie. And I will believe it after I see it consistently versus real competition. Period. That's how I look at it, bro.
I think you made me sound a little level up there.
You were up there.
I never said the future.
If John was a 10, shout out to Banger Steeler Gang. If John was a 10, you was about 8.5.
On who? Probably both.
Oh yeah. What?
Not the future though. Well, just
because no. Because you always wanted Ben to come back, but you still were like
hopeful for the season.
However you want to say it, man. You was at 8.5. I've been at a hard 5.5 tops.
Yeah, true, definitely true. Yeah. I will agree with that. Yes,
5 as a football head, 5.5 because of like my Steeler fandom. My loyalty is like, all right, I got to rock with them.
True.
Yeah, but that's how I feel. But a person that I was high on yesterday is my man James Conner. Shout out to him, man. He did his thing. Was it 23 carries, 145 yards, a touchdown, 6.3 yards per carry. Did get hurt at the end. Says AC joint, so we'll see how that goes. But
dude, can't catch a break.
Dude, all the time, man. It's rough, bro.
This was the first time, in my opinion, he looked healthy. He looked awesome.
Yes, like was twitchy, running hard,
making dudes miss.
Yeah, it was funny. So the 2 guys that were the Ducks on that Dolphins defense is in like the guys you want to go at. 24 for the passes, Ryan Lewis, and then 21 in the run game, and I think his name was Eric Rowe. Because he would not tackle anyway. You look at a lot of their runs, they're put like they like call like 37 Georgia extra, where they're pulling the offensive guard and they're taking the tight end with them, and they're traveling back. Or something they use Rosie. Every run he could hit it upside. He's bouncing that thing because he knows I'm gonna get 1-on-1 with this corner number 21, and he was not trying to hit anybody. I was like, oh, this is perfect. Just keep running at him and keep throwing at the other guy. But that's what you're supposed to do, man. And I think James, man, he looked really good. Like he ran hard. Remember, we talked about the Chargers game. He didn't run like that. We were talking, hey, he looked like he's timid a little bit.
He had the good pass catches.
Right. Right, but with there, man, he was actually running hard. Shout out to Rosie Nix. I think that was a big impact. Him coming back as well, man.
Yeah, big runs with him back there.
So it looked good, man. But then the daggone shoulder injury.
Yeah, like what do we do with that? Because they were talking that Jalen Samuels might have been ready to play this game.
Right, but he's coming back from a knee scope.
But then Benny Snell got hurt too.
Yeah, Benny left early with a knee injury.
Yeah.
And that hurt me because I had him on my fantasy. I was like,
wait, what?
I did, and here's why. Because I said, all right, James and Benny were out there versus the Chargers, but Benny balled out on the ground. All I needed him was a certain amount of rushing yards. He was going to be getting those carries if James looked at how he looked versus a bad Dolphins defense. That was the same mentality because this Dolphins defense versus the run was just as bad as this Chargers defense versus the run. But what happens? Benny Snell gets hurt. Sick.
I know he got hurt, but do you think they just would have kept going with Connor, though, how he was playing?
But this is the thing. He got hurt so early, we don't even know.
That's true.
Because last time they were using them both early and often. But
that was a risky play.
Well, I don't have James Conner. Yeah.
I feel. Who were your other running backs?
So let's see. I have Devin Singletary. Picked up your boy Frank Gore, who's trash, by the way. 3 points fantasy, thanks to you.
I think he had a decent YPC though, right?
No, he had 3.8 total fantasy points.
No, I'm talking about yards per carry.
I don't care. 3.8 fantasy points, thank you. And I had Shady McCoy. Those are my guys. And
so who'd you start?
I started Frank Gore, your boy, Mr. 3.8.
Oh, did Singletary do better than him?
I didn't.
Neither of them did good.
So. Neither one did good. Well, they got smashed with the Eagles, man. They were playing catch up.
Yeah.
So I started. Like I said, I started Singletary. No, I started Frank Gore, and I started Benny Snell.
Oh
yes, trash.
What's happened to your team?
Trash.
Wait, what has happened to
trash? I was like, oh, you keep on this Frank Gore. I was like, let me just prove a point to myself real quick. Let me make sure it's real. Let me make sure I know what I'm doing here.
I don't think
it was trash.
No.
It was trash.
That's not the time to play Frank Gore. It was when Singletary was out.
Trash. No, because the week prior to that, I used them both. Trash. I started both of them. Trash.
These aren't good fantasy strategies.
Trash. But I won last week, though. You know why? Aaron Rodgers. So it didn't even matter.
There you go.
Aaron Rodgers bought out again for me. But you know who let me down this week? Right?
Your whole team.
Frank Gore, Benny Snell, and Vance McDonald. You know how sick that felt? I was like, I got my hope in these three guys. This one like fantasy.
Those are your heart teams too.
I just like it because literally for the past 3 weeks I had Vance on the bench. I've been using Jared Cook, and I'm like, all right, cool. But I was like, let me just. It's the Dolphins defense.
What's
can't
your
stop
record?
Anybody. It's terrible. I don't know. I think I'm trash. I have 2 wins. It's trash. It's terrible. That's why I'm like, I don't like this because people that do I won in fantasy versus a team that was undefeated. And I'm looking at the names of these players and I'm like, bro, if this was our starting running back and starting receiver right now, we would be pissed here in Pittsburgh. But fantasy, they get buckets. It drives me nuts. I hate it. Can't stand it. Cannot stand it. So anywho, shout out to James Conner. He balled out last night.
He did. Played really well.
Juju, Mr. Lit Man himself. He went up and did Juju-like things.
He got your 100 yards.
He did. He got his 100 and James Conner got his 100.
Yeah.
First time all season, that was big. And it showed up in a big way. And I think those are the 2 guys that I rate the highest in terms of performances. I give them both A's, honestly. And when you look at what Juju was doing in terms of the combat catches, that's what we're used to seeing with Juju. When you look at the runs that James Conner was breaking off, how hard he was running, that's what we're used to seeing with him. And those are the 2 guys that I was really impressed with. Then Deontay Johnson. Dude, he had the play of the game. That was the play that changed the whole thing. And now we could talk about this bonehead call. So it's 3rd and 20. And before the ball snaps, I look at my wife, I say, hey, babe, right here, they can pretty much run like a sticks defense where they'll just play the sticks, the 20-yard line, or the 20 marker. Make sure you don't get the first down, let them kick the field goal. You go up and half, so you're leading still, you're good. And I said, or they might try to speed him up a little bit, not maybe bring an extra guy, 5-man pressure, just to make him throw the ball faster and hopefully keep him from being in field goal range. And that's what they showed up in initially. Then Brian Flores calls a timeout. And as he comes out of the timeout, I'm looking at this defense and I'm like, this don't look good. This look like 0. Why the heck you running 0 right here? And sure enough, zero coverage. Blown assignment by the corner. Deontay Johnson catches a 3-yard pass and he's running 45 yards. Nobody's near him. Shout out to James Washington, man. Big block at the end, too.
He did have one.
But holy cow. You talk about a play that changed the whole dynamic of that game. A play that, I mean, you look at the confidence that the Steelers had ever since then, and you look at how deflated the Dolphins looked after that play. It's not often like coaches have bad calls. Every coach does, same way players have bad plays. But it's not often the play is that glaring when a coach makes a bad call. That was it, though. You talk about somebody when you know what I correlate that to is when you be talking about some of these trades you want to make. How's just swinging for the fence? Let's trade all the draft picks for AJ Green. Let's trade let's go give all our money and get Josh Gordon. It's like boom or bust. If it works, if the cover zero works, they get a sack. Oh, you're talking about how great of a call that was by Flores. But 90% of the time it's going to happen the way it happened because how far off those corners are playing because it's cover zero, meaning you have no help nowhere. Everybody's manned up across the board.
Yeah.
The risk reward isn't there. And that's how I feel sometimes when you talk about some of these trades you want. I'm like, yo, the risk reward is really not there. Like the possibility of this working out is slim to none. Whereas the potential of this going extremely bad is ridiculously high. And we saw that yesterday. and it changed everything.
Yeah. No, thank you to them for that because it helped.
Holy cow.
In our win.
It did.
With the trades, though.
Here we go.
I think you regret bringing that up.
Let me hear it. Let's do it.
Well, this isn't trade. We talked about it last week. I still feel good about Josh Gordon. Okay. I still think that needs to happen. Mm-hmm. You still feel good about it?
About what?
Josh Gordon.
What you mean?
Us bringing him in. Like I think it needs to happen on both sides.
How's that going to happen?
Well, just a little contract. That's all.
I'll believe when I see it.
We'll figure it out.
I'll believe when I say it. Because remember, we already talked about this, right? You got that it's the Steelers. He has to come here.
Well,
why wouldn't he want to come here?
We're winning a little bit now.
Yeah, I hear you.
Primetime game on Monday night. He was watching the game.
And he sends us Dolphins. Yeah.
He saw the stadium. He saw the
but
brand.
You gotta think he's been on 2 teams that hate the Steelers.
True. Maybe he's admired from afar though. But anyway, the point still is I think we could use help at receiver. That's all. And Josh Gordon.
After yesterday, you think we need help at receiver?
Yeah. Well, dude, come on. Like outside of Juju and Deontay.
Come on. No. Bowling.
Exactly. Outside of them two.
Who else you need?
With Josh Gordon.
Why? That's overkill. We got Vance.
No, man. Come on.
You got James off the backfoot. Come on, bro. We good. James Washington, Deontay,
dude,
Moncrief.
I saw a drop or two there from him.
Come on, man. No. James was blocking though. James Washington could block. He had 2 pancakes, man. Come on,
Josh Gordon could do that too.
Nah, man. Not like James Washington though, bro. We good. And you got Switzer.
Come on.
What would you mean? We got everybody we need.
I know you agree with me on this.
What you talking about?
If we had Josh Gordon, Deontay, and Juju, I would.
Because then you're going to stunt Juju's development.
No, because Juju could go back into the role he had last year.
But he wants
to
be the main guy. He wants to take that next step.
I mean, he could still do some of that. But I mean, come on.
Because now the offense has to transition to be like geared towards Josh Gordon.
No, we could put him in the slot. That's fine.
No. He has what he wants, what he feels like he could be.
Oh, man.
Like, that's a part of it. You got to be able to manage, expectations and personalities and what they want from each other.
Well, he's played up in New England.
What does that mean?
I mean, you got to put your ego aside up there.
But this is New England, right? Capable. He's coming to Pittsburgh where he's seeing ego take over. If you want ego to live anywhere, you can live here with ego. We've seen that. So it's a lot that goes into it, huh? That's what you're seeing, huh?
I get what you're saying.
Okay. Yeah.
Isn't that a lot of players?
I'm just saying.
A portion of players. It's the risk you take. I'm willing to take it.
All right. That's cool, man.
I think you would. I think you are too.
Hey, man, that's cool, man. That's cool, bro.
All right. So, anything else on the offense? Or we want to go to defense?
Yeah, I think offensively that was it, man. Those are the biggest things. Just need my guys to get healthy, man.
That's about it at this point.
I was a little surprised though with the pressure that the Steelers O-line was allowing though. Yeah, that shocked me a little bit.
Because I guess that is something to say where you would help Mason's grade is
right.
That the pressure was there, and maybe a little bit too. The receivers weren't getting as open as much as we thought. So
not in the first half, I'll tell you that. Second half, when Xavier Howard left, that's where I was like, oh, this looks a lot better now. So we will say that. Highest paid corner for a reason, man.
He's pretty good.
Yeah. That's all I'm saying, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, to the defense then.
My favorite. Shout out to that defense. Shout out to Keith Butler. Shout out to Mike Tomlin. Shout out to the Goonies. Oh, man. It looked good.
It looked really good.
Who do we start with? Minka Fitzpatrick, 2 picks, impact plays. Do we go to Bud Dupree, another sack? Do we go to TJ Watt, 2 sacks, 2 strip sacks? Do we go to Devin Bush? He was doing his thing. Cam Hayward got him another sacky. Do we look at these corners? Where you want to start? Pick your poison. Step right up.
I don't know. It shouldn't have even been 14 points. The pick screwed the defense at the beginning of the game.
Absolutely, man.
So, they played lights out. They played how they should be playing. They let up some yards. Just some time of possession and just weird things like that. But in terms of points and when it came down to it, making plays, they did that.
Well, and they let up yards. When you look at the total yards, 230, 170 passing, 60 rushing.
I know. I said that, but then I just had to think back on what was the total yards. It felt like they were able to take up chunks in time of possession, though. But always when it came down to it, they were able to make a stop.
Yeah. I think just the rough 14-zip start due to the turnovers put a bad taste in everybody's mouth. And then from there, it started to shift. But it really started to shift once the offense took care of the ball. And then obviously Minka had the big pick early. That changed a lot. I think that he's showing once again why he was the 11th overall pick, why you give up the first round for him, why you say that, hey, he's one of my staples on defense, and you let a guy like Sean Davis, you put him on IR.
Yeah.
All that plays into that, man.
Yeah, he's balling out, man. We can't afford to have Dolphins be getting 2 top 5 picks either. So we need to keep winning. We need to at least...
You think about the wrong things, man. You think about the wrong things.
I don't want to be hearing that in the offseason.
But, this is part of it, right? You want to trade everybody away, man. Just live with it. It's the consequences, bro.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This is the risk, and he's living up to the risk.
Hey, man, I figure you trade him away. It don't matter. You going to live with him, you're going to die with him now. Yeah.
It's true.
Absolutely.
True. But I don't want to be hearing it from other NFL fans or other people saying Steelers are dumb for doing this.
Well, this is the issue, right? Half the people that still believe this team could make it to the playoffs want them to do that because they're still like, oh, we can win the Super Bowl still. But the flip side is this, okay, if you make it to the Super Bowl, granted, you're not having a first round pick anyways, or excuse me, not if you make it to the Super Bowl, if you make it to the playoffs, do you really think that this team could win the Super Bowl? So then you're like, oh man, we set up for heartbreak. We ain't even got no shot. Then the other side is, well, if we stink, then this team is going to get the higher pick. So I'm seeing the back and forth with that whole thing, man. I'm just like, how it is sometimes, man.
It is.
It's how it is, bro.
But he's living up to it. So even, I don't know, even if it is a top 10 pick, it's, he was the 11th pick anyway. So, and he's playing really well. So
it shouldn't matter about the draft picks. If that's the case, if it was all about draft picks here in Pittsburgh, Moncrief would be gone the same way you saw the Ravens give up with their best special teams player because they wanted a 4th round comp pick. And then who just picked them up? New England. So shout out to them.
Do you think we should get an extra draft pick there?
I don't think it's worth it. I think if you are comfortable with the receivers, you roll with the receivers because that draft stuff, fans love draft picks, but players and coaching staff, they know that draft is 50-50, period. You go down the list of draft picks year in and year out, first round, second round, third round, don't matter who they are. Look how many of them hit. Look how many of them stink. That's how it goes, man.
Oh, for sure.
So I think, like I said, fans, they love that draft stuff, man. Oh, man, we got to cut this guy, get this comp pick. And some coaches, they be like, oh, yeah, we got to cut this guy. Let's cut our best special teams player and then let New England pick him up. Yeah, this is great. I got him on 4th round comp pick. Hopefully he's really good. And you got coaches who are like, yo, I don't care about them picks. I want the best players here, the guys who are going to help me win. And that's that. So,
no, I feel you. But no, he's playing awesome. Yeah. I think the defense in general has just been getting better and better.
Absolutely, man.
Living up to what I guess the potential could be with all the draft picks that we have and the high talent players. So
without a doubt, man. And when you look at 15 turnovers they had all of last season. They're at 19 now, man. Like, that's insane. And the way they're doing them is not garbage time turnovers. Like, they're really making impactful plays. And that's the thing that I love the most about them. And also, when you talk about the talent, the first rounders that are out there, I mean, they are playing like first rounders are supposed to play. That's the thing I like. I'm like, okay, when I look at this defense, I say, where's the weak link? How would you attack it? And the fact that it's becoming harder and harder to say, oh, you go at this guy, or I would go at that guy, that's a great thing. And that's kind of how I'm looking at it right now, man.
Do you take any credit away for the pick? The one that, hit the dude right in the hands.
Wait, the one D'Amica, right?
Yeah.
The second one.
No, the first one. It was the one to the tight end, to Jack Nicklaus' grandson.
No, so at least my Nick O'Leary, yeah, he was up in Buffalo. Yeah, out of Florida State. I don't look at it as I take credit from that. I do say this, though. You have to have your awareness. You have to be in position to make that play, because we saw passes that were tipped on the other side that just fell to the ground.
Right.
So you have to be in position to make the play. You have to make the play. So I do like that element of it. And obviously I like the second pick by Mika.
Mm-hmm.
Double coverage. He made sure he stayed on top of the rock, did what he's supposed to do. But that's kind of how I look at those type of plays. The only thing I take away from it is this. We know that Dolphins offense is not scary. We talked about that. We talked about how they've used multiple combinations of offensive alignment. We talked about how their best receivers, Preston Williams and Devontae Parker, and how those guys still haven't even been producing. They had just traded away Kenyon Drake.
Yep.
So it was a lot of moving pieces out there. We talked about that. So for me, I'm like, they look like how they're supposed to look.
No, exactly.
So that's how I look at it. You know what I mean? It's like,
that's what leaves you a little pause for concern.
Yeah. What?
That
no,
aspect
when I said
of
they
it.
look like how they supposed to look, I'm referring to the Steelers defense.
Right.
When you're playing against a team that is bad offensively, you should look dominant.
Right.
If they didn't look dominant, if they just look good, then I'd be like, yo, I don't know. But because they look like dominant how they were supposed to look, I'm like, okay, cool. Now we got to see next week. You got to have a bigger test. Jacoby Brissett, T.Y. Hilton, Marlon Mack, Quentin Nelson. This is totally different offense. Ebron, it's totally different. So now we're going to see, like, okay, how good are y'all? Are y'all real or not? Certain games. Oh, that following week, the Rams. We're going to see how good are y'all? Like, that's the stretch that this defense about to come on to. We're going to see how good this team really is. Are they for real or are they pretenders?
Yeah, even the Browns a little bit.
Yeah, from an offensive standpoint.
Right.
Yeah, and they present some mismatch problems. Like, those are the things that I'm interested to see now. But you want to at least see them dominate this Dolphins team. The same way we saw them dominate that Bengals team. From a defensive standpoint, if you're a good defense, if you're a top-notch defense, you're supposed to make inferior talent look like that. And that's what they've done. And that's the thing that I like. So for me, I haven't waved on them in that regard. I just need to see it now. Okay, you're going to get your real test. Same with Mason. Mason,
True.
hey, we talk about, Mason was slinging, he looked good. All right. Now you're going to get a real NFL defense with real NFL talent, all pros, guys who aren't, undermanned out there. Because of the look, the Dolphins team was undermanned, outmatched, period. We know that. But we're going to see what it looks like versus Colts team that is the exact opposite of that.
I'm not high on the Colts.
That's fine.
I think we're going to do fine against
them. That's fine, man. They beat your Chiefs.
I know.
Convincingly. It wasn't no fluke. It was convincingly.
I mean, yeah. Last week, though, was a fluke. This Sunday with...
Which one?
I don't know who they made a last-second field goal.
A 51-yarder with Vinatieri as the Broncos.
It was the Broncos,
yeah.
Come on,
defense locked them up the whole time. What are we talking about?
That's what I mean. I don't think their offense is nothing. All right. They're going to come into Heinz Field. We'll take care of them.
I'm hoping you're right. Well, you got to pick that because you said 15-1. So either way, they can't lose any more games. I'm not worried about that. You said 15-1, so every week you cannot waver. You have to hold fast. Period. All right. Like, that's just how it is.
But I'm serious about the Rams. I'm a little more concerned about. I'm
serious. Sound flip-flop. I'm not really worried about the Rams.
Really? Their offense?
Not.
Dude, they've been putting up numbers though.
I'm not worried about it. They played Atlanta. Atlanta's like the Dolphins. What?
It's the Rams though.
Yeah, you're thinking in the past of last year. It's the Rams. Have you seen Todd Gurley this year?
Yeah, he's on my fantasy team. Unfortunately, he's getting a touchdown here or there, but
not
the old Todd Gurley.
Yeah, he's not the same. Yeah, that's all I'm saying, man.
I'm just telling you, the Colts, they ain't there, man. We're gonna take care of them. This is
hey, like I said, I hope you're right. I need you to be right because I need these wins to keep coming in. It's better for business.
It is. It definitely is.
It's way better for business. People like listening when the Steelers win. People like coming to the tailgate when the team is winning. They don't like showing up when they're losing. I don't like being out there when we're losing. You don't like being out there when they're losing. It sucks. All right. So with that being said, I need them to beat the Colts. I need them to beat the Rams. I need to beat everybody. All right.
No, agreed.
Yeah.
So is there any other points that you got points of interest from this game?
Your offensive MVP, defensive MVP.
From the game?
Mm-hmm.
Offensive is Connor. Defensive is, man, I guess you gotta go Minka.
All right. I was gonna say, man, where you going with this thing, man?
Who's yours? Is yours the same?
Same, yeah. Like for me, I was either gonna go Connor or Juju. I think Connor's impact was longer lasting and it set the tone, whereas Juju really took off in the second half when Xavier Howard went out, and he ultimately was what broke the game completely open. But James was the constant, productive person that you needed offensively. And then from the defensive side of the ball, I mean, the Minka interceptions were just
the timing of them were important too.
Very impactful.
Yeah.
Whereas I did like the impact that Bud was having off the edge. I like that a lot, especially in the run game. He was doing his thing out there. And when I think about the secondary, well, in particular just the defense, I liked how Vince Williams, he was mixing it up. He was out there. He was doing his thing. And that type of stuff, I'm like, okay, I see certain people making plays. But in terms of like just, and Mike Hilton. Shout out to Mike Hilton.
Forced fumble.
Mike Hilton continue to do his thing, man. One of the best slot corners in the league, period. But Minka, man, how could you not go with that?
Yeah, I think those two, in my opinion, though, I think the comments will tell you differently from our post today. But I thought it was obvious. Just like you said, on offense, it'd be James Conner. Defense is Minka. Yeah.
I mean, you can't go against them dudes, man.
No.
Yeah. Oh, and before we finish that part, shout out to Boz too, man.
He's doing good.
He hit 40 yards. I mean, he missed the 50. Was it 54?
It was
54 yards, I think. Oh, actually,
it was long enough. It was 54.
Yeah,
it was long enough, but it was just a little right.
Well, and the thing is this: like historically in the NFL, any kick over 50 yards is considered 50%. In terms of make or miss, regardless of who it is.
So you're calling that, as a coach, when you make that call, you're just thinking if he makes it, it's house money.
Absolutely, yeah. You look at the stats for ever since like kicking's been considered like a stat, and they check, all right, anything over 50 yards is 50%. Yeah, so it's like as long as he's hitting anything 49 and under, as long as he's hitting those, I'm fine with anything 50 plus. Yeah, think about how many kickers.
That was his first one this year.
Yeah, but think about how many kickers you see consistently make 50 yards. Justin Tucker, Adam Vinatieri.
Dude,
he's
been terrible this year.
Right. That's I'm like, and those are like probably two of the best kickers we've seen.
Mason Crosby, maybe.
Situational. Yeah.
But yeah,
we obviously saw the Bears, they ain't got it.
No. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, man.
That was terrible. So I was watching that. I could not believe it.
Oh man. We just go down the ball. We're not gonna try to get no extra yards. We got this, guys. Don't worry.
Oh, so you think that was a bad call?
I would have liked to see them run it, get a little closer, personally.
40 yards, though.
I don't care. I don't trust kickers.
Okay, I mean,
I just don't. I've had a couple relationships with kickers. Have hurt my heart here in Pittsburgh, in particular.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that.
So I don't want to go back down that. I've been hurt, fragile.
I guess it might have cost us a seat in the playoffs, a spot in the playoffs. But at least those teams have made the playoffs. We haven't been out because of it.
Yeah.
The Bears are awful, though. They're one of those teams I can't stand.
They're not awful. Their quarterback play is awful. And
they're awful in the point of they're mediocre. They're the
their
Dolphins.
Defense is elite. Their offense is trash.
But they're the Dolphins of the past 5 years.
It's hard to say that for me, man. Because the defense, you put any other
I'd rather be awful than 8-8.
But my thing is this: you put any other quarterback on that team, you put Mason on that team. Totally different team. Trubisky sucks, bro. He does. You put Garoppolo on that team. Trubisky sucks. It's clear. Everyone knows he sucks. He sucks, bro.
What happened last year? Why was everyone?
He was still sucking last year. He just wasn't turning the ball over.
Yeah,
that's the biggest difference. You can suck and not turn the ball over. Your defense creates splash like how they were doing and scoring, and that's when you get these type of crazy games. Their special teams unit were getting points on that as well. Now when you have a trash quarterback that turns the ball over as well, now you're killing yourself because you're not getting anything from the offense. You think about that Ravens team, was it 2000 when they went with Trent Dilfer? Was it Trent Dilfer at quarterback? Yeah. It was the same concept. Don't turn the ball over. You look at that Tampa Bay Buccaneers team with, was it Brad Johnson? Don't turn the ball over. We'll do everything else on defense. You just don't turn the ball over. I remember my last year in Buffalo, we were kind of like, yo, just don't turn the ball over. What happened? We lost to an undefeated Chiefs team, 14-0. And you know why? 2 pick sixes. It kills you. Kills you. You're looking at, I forgot who the quarterback was. It might have been Alex Smith. No, it was Castle. We're looking at him like, look at these numbers. 140 yards passing. Oh. But we lost 14-0. Oh, Jamal Charles, how many yards? 50 yards. Hey, should have won that, right? 14-0. 2 pick sixes. It's gross. I've been a part of that. And that's what they're going with right now in Chicago. It's bad. Like, you can't have bad quarterback play that turns it over as well.
Yeah.
The game last night, prime example. When Mason had them turnovers early, that was like, oh man, like this is bad. Yeah. You don't turn the ball over, defense can do what they need to do. Everything works out fine. So that's why, like, I can't put that Bears team in that category as that Dolphins
Maybe
team.
It's just the quarterback. Maybe I'm just thinking quarterback.
Yeah, it's
Tannehill,
right?
Awful.
Yes, that's
like,
what it is.
Good enough to get you like 8-8, 9-7, a wild card.
Good enough for that though.
Well, they did make a wild card last year.
Well, last year they could have been
or no, they won the division.
2 seed, yeah,
but they didn't go past one round. That's what I mean.
Well, that's because the field goal kicker,
right?
Remember, yeah.
but also Trubisky because the offense didn't do shit.
True, but I'm saying last year they weren't turning the ball over, and last year they still would have won the second round of the playoffs, the divisional round, if they just make the field goal versus the Eagles.
Yeah.
Remember that's when the Cody Parker. Parker, yeah. That's where everybody wanted to like kill him. He was on suicide watch, man. Yeah. Can't trust kickers, man.
I see what you're saying. Anything else before you want to wrap up here?
Oh, man.
I did have something I wanted to ask you.
Oh, and shout out to Coach T, man. He won his first challenge. How many attempts? Like 11, 12.
I didn't realize. Someone
like 11
texted
in a row.
me yesterday.
It's like 11 challenges in a row. He had
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, shout out to him. Who would have thought Al Riveron would have got one right? Would have got one for the boy. Shout out to Coach T, man. Got one, man.
So real quick.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, you're in the stands of Heinz Field.
Mm-hmm.
You're watching the game.
Where am I watching it at, though? What part?
Just anywhere.
Okay.
But the Steelers do this thing at probably other stadiums, other teams do it. If you do something like sign up for the team's app.
Oh, yeah. Still Nation Unite, yeah.
So you get entered into some type of
where
giveaway.
They can like, get you on the field early or?
Not necessarily that. There was something that happened yesterday. It was a hot dog giveaway for the row or the section that you're in.
Mm-hmm.
If you're the one that signs up for the app and wins the hot dogs for your row or your section, are you expecting more than one hot dog?
What do you mean?
Because I'm assuming they give away one hot dog
for the whole section, yeah.
Yeah, so you're the one that want it for your section. Yeah. I want more than one hot dog. I want like 3 or 4 hot dogs.
But you didn't sign up for 3 or 4 hot dogs. You signed up for 1 hot dog.
No. If I am that person,
if you won it, yeah, you signed up to win my hot dog and 1 hot dog for everybody on my row. Did it cost you any money to sign up?
But
did it cost you money to sign up?
No, it didn't.
So what you complaining about then?
I want more hot dogs.
Well, they should charge you $2 to sign up then. If they charge you $5 to sign up and they give you 3 hot dogs, would you still sign up? No. But because they say it's free to sign up, you're like, oh, I'm gonna sign up with a chance of winning hot dogs.
Well, then I'd be expecting some of the people that in that section. One, I think this is just the case just because of how people are these days. Everyone's trying to eat healthy, you know.
Oh, not trying to eat healthy. It's not like they're trying to get over on people for giving you free stuff, man.
So I'm expecting a couple people in that section or that row to give me one of their dogs, 1 or 2 of their dogs. Maybe a family's in the section.
If you sign up for free, you can't be asking for all this extra. Because if they were to say, hey, pay $2 to sign up, you wouldn't even want to pay $2 to sign up. Let's be real. We do giveaways, right? Hey, you got 2 tickets, man. 2 tickets to a game. Oh, 2 tickets, come kick with us. Oh, we can go do this. For free, just sign up. Now, if they say, yo, I won, man, I should get more than that, man. Let me get like 4 tickets, man. I got some other people. You know what I mean? Like, you gonna feel some type of way, man. That's what I'm saying, man. But if we told them, hey, but just pay $2 to subscribe to us for the chance to win. You're not gonna win just for the chance to win. They ain't doing that, man.
But you get what I'm saying. If you
No, man.
You should get an extra hot dog or
no, man. I don't get what you're saying, man. If you had to pay to sign up, then sure.
You should get all the hot dogs you want.
All of them you want. You get 2 extra hot dogs if you pay $5 to sign up. But if you wouldn't sign up, if they would charge you, then you can't say I should get more.
Isn't time the most valuable thing we have here as humans?
That's fine. That's fine. But all I'm saying is this. Would you have signed up if they were charging you?
No.
Exactly. Boom. What do we talk about that?
I'm not signing up in general, though.
But if you did sign up, you would sign up only if it was free. And either way, if you won, you would still want to get more hot dogs, even though you wouldn't want to pay to sign up. That's the flaw, man. That's only my thing, man. I'm like, if you would pay to sign up, cool. But you know you want to pay to sign up. So how you going to complain about what hot dogs you got? How many hot dogs?
It's just what I'm expecting. There's got to be someone that agrees with me out there.
I hope so, but I hope they pay to subscribe there wherever they do it, man. That's all I'm saying. If they're gonna want extra.
All I'm saying is I saw that happen.
Yeah.
On the big screen, and was like, damn, if I'm doing that and I win all these hot dogs from a row, I hope I get at least 3 or 4 hot dogs, not just one hot dog.
Cow. What if after you win they say, hey, fine print, you got to pay $5. We give you 2 extra hot dogs though. You're not paying it.
I honestly might, because at that time you throw a hot dog in front of me, and I'm a little hungry.
You happy?
Because usually you can't just do one hot dog.
But you don't want to just pay just for the sake of like, hey, I might win.
That would be a decent deal at the game.
It would be
2 hot dogs for $5.
Hey, pay $5, subscribe to SAU, and you might get a chance to win hot dogs. You're not doing that.
I'm not doing that.
You're not doing
after the fact.
You're not doing it after the fact. Yeah, but you have to know that you won.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the issue.
Maybe
you're trying to like hedge your bet. Like, I'm not doing it unless I know I'm gonna win, and how many hot dogs I'm getting out of this $5 ticket subscription.
Oh man,
you're funny, man.
Kinda.
I like it. That's Deke, though, ladies and gentlemen. That's what Deke does. Deke is the man.
Appreciate it.
If you want some hot dogs, man, I just you just give me your hot dog. I have 2-3 hot dogs. I'll be good, bro. Yeah, we're straight.
But yeah, dude. I think, is that it?
I believe so, man. That was good. That was smooth. Obviously, tune in. We always got heat coming for y'all guys on IG, YouTube, podcast, anywhere y'all want to check us out. We're there.
Absolutely.
Hey, Terrible Tailgate next week. Make sure y'all there. We'll talk about that too. Always a blast.
Absolutely. And we just made a post for
the
Arthur Moats Madden Challenge.
Arthur Moats Madden Challenge will be going down December 1st. The game versus the Browns, 4:25 kickoff at Heinz Field, Red Light 5A. So get that on your radar now. Put it on your calendars. That's the place to be. Arthur Moats EA Sports Madden Challenge. We out there. It's going to be crazy.
Absolutely.
It's gonna be crazy.
I'm excited for that.
It's gonna be crazy, man.
I already got people talking some smack on you.
Yeah. I was
listen, I want to go up against, I want to cross the Moats, and I want to beat him.
Man. That's what they're saying.
And he's going to have to pay the consequences.
That's what they're saying, man. And I got people saying they want Deke to push another car. So.
Maybe a Mini Cooper or something like that.
With that being said, though, man, we definitely appreciate y'all for tuning in.
Absolutely, dude. Until next time.
No doubt, baby. Peace.